Next at 11, an offensive speech gets a University of Portland student kicked off the tennis team. What he said at an athletics banquet that disgusted some people so much they walked out. 3 shot, 2 dead, and no suspect in custody. How you can help Salem police find an accused killer on the run. Plus, play ball, the serious effort to bring a Major League Baseball team to Portland.
This is KGW News at 11.
An op-ed in a student newspaper has a lot of people talking tonight. A University of Portland student says she felt trapped during an awards ceremony for student athletes this weekend as the student MC spouted off what she called misogynistic and violent remarks about women. She and several others eventually walked out, and now the school is reprimanding that MC. Christine Pitawanich has been looking into this story. She's live tonight near UP. And Christine, this student was really shook up by what she heard.
And Tracy, she says she was literally shaking. The awards banquet was mandatory for all student athletes, but at one point she just got up and left, unable to hear any more. She says she documented everything that happened in the school paper, The Beacon.
And I was just outraged and appalled.
Kaylee Valentine and others here on the University of Portland campus are condemning what the MC at a mandatory year-end sports awards banquet said while on stage over the weekend. A student, Olivia Sanchez, wrote an opinion piece in the school newspaper about how it affected her.
And I could not believe what I was reading.
Sanchez did not want to speak on camera, but other students are weighing in.
Way off topic. Completely inappropriate.
In the piece, Sanchez says the night was, quote, tainted by the violent, misogynistic speech of senior men's tennis player Gautam Sundaram. Sundaram was the MC. He's seen here in UP team pictures. And there are also photos from the Oregonian of his time playing tennis at Lincoln High School. UP has since removed him from the team roster.
Everyone agrees that it was really poor thinking on his part.
Sundaram apparently talked about his sexual pursuits, including a goal of getting, quote, white women to sleep with brown men.
It does not reflect the beliefs of most of the student population.
Kaylee Valentine says she felt victimized just reading the remarks.
I cannot believe that is something that someone feels comfortable saying, and that in and of itself is assault.
At one point, Sanchez says Sundaram implied that, quote, his parents' immigration would be worth it if he could hook up with a white girl, and even mentioned how Gandhi didn't fast for 20 days so that I could get to America and not sleep with white women, end quote. The audience laughed.
It was surprising to hear that was not the reaction of the audience at large at the event.
Sanchez writes that a few athletes did get up and leave, including basketball coach Terry Porter.
To take the courage to actually leave, especially if you're in a position of authority like Terry Porter, I think that's pretty courageous.
But she says others stayed, including the university president. UP issued a statement saying, quote, these offensive statements do not reflect the University of Portland, and they do not reflect our mission.
It's never been funny, it never will be, and I don't know why that was accepted at an event like that, but I don't think it reflects the larger opinion of this university, and it is very disappointing. In a follow-up, the school paper published a 3-sentence apology from Sundaram saying, quote, I would like to address what happened at the Wallies last night. I want to apologize for taking away from the focus of the night. The night is meant to celebrate the excellence of student athletes, and I would like to apologize if I made any people uncomfortable. Some students say that apology misses the mark. Sundaram today was not available for comment, but if you'd like to read the entirety of the opinion piece, you can go to our website, kgw.com. We've posted a link to the op-ed in The Beacon here that's published on campus. Back to you.
Well, surprising at the very least. Thank you, Christine. Well, it seems to be a night of apologies. Tonight, Beaverton superintendent is apologizing over a social media post from the deputy superintendent that some say is racist. Steve Phillips retweeted this tweet calling for banning, quote, illegal aliens from our country and blaming them for thousands of deaths. A viewer sent us this screenshot of the post. Beaverton Superintendent Don Grotting sent a letter home to parents apologizing for the post and saying it does not reflect the standards and values of the district. His note continues, we are committed to ensuring all students have every opportunity to reach their potential. Our staff works hard every day to support our wonderfully diverse students and families, and we are committed to learning from our mistakes and continuing this work. We did reach out to the district tonight for more information, but we have not heard back. We have a sad update for you tonight to the search for a family that went missing after a visit to Portland. Tonight's search and rescue crews found the last missing member of the Thotapilli family. Their car was swept into a Northern California river. The family was on their way from Portland to their home near Los Angeles. Searchers found their car earlier today with the father and 9-year-old daughter inside and recovered the 12-year-old son's body this evening. Crews found the mother over the weekend. It's still unclear how their car ended up in the river. Detectives in Salem are asking for your help finding the person who shot 3 people at a bar early Saturday morning. Police are looking for a red or maroon SUV seen leaving the parking lot at Barflies just after the shooting. That's at about 2:30 a.m. It's likely a newer Ford Expedition. 24-year-old Tobias Helms-Reese, 21-year-old Tyler Longacre, both killed. Another man is still hospitalized. People stopped by the bar throughout the day to add to a memorial. Some former neighbors brought balloons for Longacre, who they watched grow up.
He was a great kid. We loved him. We didn't know him, but we knew Tyler, and he had a good heart. He's already in heaven, I'm sure.
Tyler's mom told us his girlfriend is pregnant due in 5 weeks. He didn't even know the other man killed. Investigators have set up a special tip line for you to call. If you know anything, somebody does. That number is on your screen, 503-540-8079. And tonight, police are still looking for the person who shot a boy in Salem this morning and put a middle school on lockdown. Police say around 8:30 this morning, they found a teenage boy with a gunshot wound near Lancaster Drive Southeast and Rickey Street, not far from Houck Middle School. The school went into lockdown until officers determined there really wasn't a threat. Officials took the victim to the hospital. He is expected to recover. Police did not identify the victim or name a suspect, but say they don't think there's any threat to the public. The city of Vancouver is trying to figure out what to do with abandoned RVs, and one in particular is really causing them headaches. Neighbors in Vancouver noticed this RV show up on Northeast 8th Street in January. It hasn't moved since. They called the city and complained. The city came out, asked the people living inside to move multiple times, but it's still there. And the thing is, when it arrived, it still had tires on it. Now it's up on blocks. And the mayor wants it gone, but she says it's not as easy as towing a car.
They have sewage, water, they have a gas tank. If they're going to shred this thing, it may have asbestos in it, so it has to go through all of the legal implications of how do you get rid of those in a safe manner.
The mayor told us once they get some tires, it should be towed within the next few weeks. Ride-hailing app Uber is looking for a fresh start in Portland. Years after Uber was found to be using a program called Grayball to avoid city regulations, the company has formally apologized. Before the company had an official permit to operate in Portland, it used software to identify and avoid PBOT regulators. Today, Uber's general manager for the Pacific Northwest released an apology letter to the mayor and city council. In the letter, Uber pledges to be long-term partners with the city and conduct business here with integrity, and says in part, at times we conducted operations in a way that failed to live up to the Portland way of collaboration and transparency. For that, we apologize. You have our firm commitment that we will work to make things right and be as collaborative as possible to keep this emerging global city moving forward. Mayor Ted Wheeler said in a statement he appreciates that Uber acknowledged they have made mistakes. You might notice some new billboards up around Portland. The group Portland Equity in Action put up 25 billboards highlighting racial disparities and police shootings in Portland. The signs have different messages like de-escalation, not militarization, and Black Lives Matter. Others feature black men who have been killed, like Larnell Bruce Jr., who was killed by a white supremacy group in Gresham in 2016, and Terrell Johnson, who was shot and killed by Portland police in 2017. A grand jury did rule that shooting justified. The group calls it the PDX Billboard Project. According to their website, they hope to bring attention to the deaths of those two men and ignite change in police and policy. Are you more likely to help out a stranger if they say you're their neighbor? Well, at least one scammer hopes for. A homeowner in Tigard says this man came to her home last Friday. He told her he was her new neighbor, just around the corner. He also said his wife lost a tire off her car at Taylor's Ferry and he needed a tow. He said the tow truck company would only take cash and he was about $40 short. She asked him if he had ID. He said no, but she wisely took his picture. He promised to come back in an hour with the money. He never did. The homeowner says she's not angry about the money.
He created this sense of urgency, which kind of threw me off, and that's probably why I went ahead and ended up giving them the money, and I'm sure he did that on purpose, and I just don't want other people to fall for it like I did.
Well, another homeowner says, already did. The same man came to her home earlier this month with a similar story involving a tow and needing cash. Take a good look there because she ended up giving him $50. Coming up, big league baseball in downtown Portland. It could be closer to happening than you might expect.
Major League Baseball is looking for those young, vibrant, growing cities and saying, look, we need to be where the action is.
The new group that's leading the charge to make the Rose City an MLB city. Plus, how do the Blazers feel heading into Game 2 of the playoffs?
And things are finally going to warm up. Not so much tonight. We're sitting at 46 degrees. It's not raining at the moment in Portland, but the mountain snowpack, big gains. We'll talk about that. Still tracking showers, some of them strong on Doppler radar. I'll let you know when I'll be able to stop doing that.